Hey everybody. So today's lesson, let me see if I can get that to zoom better. Today's lesson is 111. Don't get caught up with the numbers. What matters is we're going to read and draw line plots and dot plots. Okay. So if you look, here we have the definition of a line plot. It's basically a number line diagram that shows the frequency of a data. Okay. So here's our number line. Let me show you guys. There's the number line, and then each of these x's basically represents a number. Like, since there's two x's above the 1, that means there's actually two 1s in here. And here, since there's 3 x's above the 2, that means there's actually a 2, 2, 2. Okay? And then there's 1 x above the 3, so we have 1, 3. And then there's no 4s here, so or no x's, so there's no 4s. And then here, this would be 5, 5, 5. Okay? That's what that means. It just represents numbers, a different way to write numbers. And a dot plot, well, a dot plot, don't let it get too tricky. It's the same thing, right? The definition is exactly the same, but instead of using x's, they have dots. That's why it's called a dot plot. Here there's 2 1s. Here there's 3 2s, 1 3, 3 5s. Right, that's a 5. So line plot, dot plot, sometimes I say one, I write the other, I write one and say the other. It means the same thing. Okay. So let's go ahead and define number line. You guys know what a number line is. You've seen number lines, you've worked with number lines. That's a number line. It's a line where numbers are marked kind of with equal intervals, right? That's the number line. And then the only other thing I wanted to define here was frequency. A lot of people aren't too sure what frequency means. So let me raise this up a little. There's frequency. Frequency, it just means the number of times data occurs. So if I was looking at this dot plot here, and I asked what's the frequency of 5, the frequency would be 3, because it shows up 3 times, or because there's 3 dots above the 5. Okay, that's the frequency. So right now, take some time, pause this, make sure you copy all of this before I move on. We are going to move on to the next page, right? Let me lower it a little. So make sure you copy all that before you move on to the next page. So on the next page, and again, when I take notes, I remember from the notes video, the examples are going to be on the right-hand side, and then the explanation is on the left. Or we look on the left to find our answers. Okay. So here's the setup. Mr. Rocha has 3 computers, 4 Chromebooks, 2 laptops, 3 game consoles, and 5 phones. And I think some of that's true. I have some of those things. Game consoles, I have the Switch, I got the PS3, and then I got a different game console. I don't even know what kind it is. But what we have to do is make a line plot to represent this data. Okay? And the data, there's basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We're going to make a line plot. I actually made a dot plot. I made this video earlier. I didn't record, so it's already worked out, but it would look something like this. Okay? Instead of numbers, what we're plotting are items. Okay? We have 3 computers, so I put down computers, 3 dots on it. 4 Chromebooks. So here I write Chromebooks, 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on it. Laptop, 2 laptops. Game consoles, 1, 2, 3 game consoles. Phones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots. Okay? So in the next couple of days, in the assignments, you're going to have to be able to create line plots and dot plots, kind of like how I did here, and also be able to read them or interpret them. Okay? If I gave you this and asked you how many laptops are there, hopefully you could see that there's 2. You should be able to look at that. And 2 laptops are represented by this. Okay? So copy that. The thing in red is the answer. Okay? Again, I tried recording this earlier, but it didn't work for me, so that's why it's already worked out. Usually I'll work it out as the video goes on, but that's not too difficult. And then the next example, if you need time, pause it and then copy it. The next example says the dot plot represents the number of hours a class of students exercises each week. So all of these dots represent students. One student exercised 0 hours per week. No bueno. You need to exercise more. And then over here you have one student that exercised 7 hours per week. Now sometimes on the line, not every number is represented, but you should understand there's a 7 there, because it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 8, 9. And technically it goes on forever. So all of these dots represent people. Okay. And in the first question, again, unfortunately, I had these answers in already. First question is, how many students are represented in the line plot? Well, that would be 14. And how did we get 14? You just count up how many dots there are. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right? 14 dots, 14 students. Easy enough. Let's look at the next question. What is the greatest hours exercised by a student? I have 7 down as the answer. Now, even though the line plot goes all the way out to 9, my dot here, that's the biggest one represented, which is 7. Okay. Let's see what's next. Which hour appeared most frequent? Basically, he's asking which one has the most dots on it. Okay. The 2 has the most dots on it. That's why my answer is 2. There's 4 dots on the 2. That means 4 kids exercised 2 hours. Okay. And then the last question, what is the difference between the greatest total and the least total? Well, the greatest total is 7. The least total is 0. This guy right here is a keyword difference, which means subtract. So you take the 7, you take the 0, you subtract them, boom. Okay. Again, next time I'll work these out with you guys, but I did it, and my video didn't show up, so that's why I'm doing it. That's why there are answers already there. But anyway, pause that, take time to copy it, and then we'll work on the assignment in a minute.